So this is going to be the story of today. I hope you enjoy it. Um, Today I woke up and my alarm went off. But as soon as it woke me up, my phone died. So I woke up to a miracle because if it had died a second earlier, I would not have woken up and I would not have gotten to work. And a lot of bad things would have ensued. The greatest of which is that I would have lost nearly $100. Wow. I worked, and I wasn't very happy either because I was training this girl on a Sunday morning, and Sunday mornings are the busiest, and she sucked for that. But and I started to lose my cool because I'm like, yo, girl, she's texting. She was texting while we were cooking. And I'm like, okay, trying to explain to her how to do stuff. Be like, hey, look at this. Look at what I'm doing. Okay, this is how you make this, and this is how you make that. And she's like texting away on her phone. She's like, oh, look at this, as if we've got some sort of conspiratorial understanding between us that we can go on Facebook when we're supposed to be working. She gives me this sort of knowing side glance as if we're so bad. I'm like, I take no part in this. I mean, I do realize that you're 24 and you're acting like you're 15 and I'm in charge of you. I don't know how this has anything to do with, but anyways, she's so lippy. She's like, so what am I supposed to do, boss? Like, put me to work. You know, weird calling. Like, really? Really? Look at how you're acting. I mean, I hear about her ex. He was on. She's got a court order to go to counseling because she's been charged with domestic violence because she punched him in the face so hard that now she can't open up like margarine pails because her fist is compacted and she's got some sort of weird shit going on with her knuckles. Yeah, and she has two little girls. And so anyway, she's telling me all this and I'm like, yeah, uh-huh. And you expect me to allow you to tell me that I have no... Yes, I'm gonna boss you around. I'm your superior. Okay? I don't care how old I am. I don't care. If I'm trying to cook an order and you're supposed to be helping me, I don't want you, like, on your phone and, like, talking to people. And I mean, it's all my own fault because, like, 10 minutes earlier, it was like, oh, it's so sad that I can't have my phone on me and stuff. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, around here, I mean, you're not really supposed to, but you can keep your phone on you if you don't check it very often. And we had this nice heart-to-heart conversation in which there was so much agreement and clarity, where we talked about how stupid people were when they're on their phones the entire shift, and how she's not going to be sitting in the back playing freaking Bejeweled on her phone when we're supposed to be working. And she's like, oh, I get you. It's just like a really hard... She brings out her phone. And she did not put that thing down the entire time. And always like this little, okay, we're on our phones now, it's kind of fun. I'm like, no! Ha 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 ha. Yeah. And she doesn't listen either. I don't know how many things got screwed up today because she wouldn't listen to what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, make this veggie wrap, put in this much. She puts in twice as much, it falls apart. Okay, honey, we're gonna make this again, make this veggie wrap, put in this much. She makes twice as much as I tell her. It falls apart. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is it. This order is taking way too long. Let me make this veggie wrap for you. Oh, wow, it took 30 seconds. What up? Yeah, and then I'm telling her about how I just graduated or whatever, but I didn't have a problem because I'm homeschooled. She's like, oh, it's okay. Problems aren't that great. They're overrated. I mean, like, I didn't even go to mine because I was pregnant at the time, but, you know. And I'm like, right on. She has a tattoo of a cartoon on her arm. I think that just kind of seals it. So anyway, after that shift was over, I was in a bad mood. And I came home, and I was just in a bad mood. And I realized all of a sudden, well, okay, let me back up a bit. When I get in a bad mood, I have this incredible strong urge to dress up. put on some clothes that were really cool and nice, and a vest and like a hat, and I like put on a whole bunch of black eyeliner. And I was like, I'm gonna go to the pub down the road, because I can go to the pub down the road, which is a little weird since I'm technically too young, but you know. I'm gonna go to the pub down the road and see if I can get some dude to buy me some alcohol. Because I was in a bed. But I didn't, because I'm too lazy. Everybody there knows, they know I'm not 18. So yeah, I sat on the couch and I started crying. But not like real crying. I was like, I want some Oreos. Please, somebody get me some Oreos. And someone answered my call of helplessness. Little bro came and he's like, oh yeah, give me $10, I'll go get you some Oreos. And I'm like, bro man, $4. Little bro came and he's like, oh yeah, give me $10, I'll go get you some Oreos. And I'm like, bro man, $4 to pay you to go out to the store to get me some Oreos. And he's like, no, you can just pay me, Pop. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. So he came back in like 2 minutes and I had this box of Oreos. And I didn't eat it. I just looked at it and I kept it for like 2 hours. And he was like looking at me, literally, and it was just kind of like, hey there, girl. I want to go in your mouth. And I was like, oh, dirty Oreos. I was like, oh, you better not let my mom hear you. And I'm like, but secretly I want you. And then, yeah, we know. We just kind of like eyed each other, and I kind of like, you know, give him a look. He knew it was coming later on. Then I took him down to my room. It's coming later on. Then I took him down to my room with a glass of milk, and I took pictures of them. And I was gonna post them on Instagram, and then I was like, oh man, no, I should keep these to myself. And then I tried How I Met Your Mother, and I ate those. I mean, it was delicious, except for now I have a stomachache, and I probably gained 5 pounds, which I really don't care about, but the stomachache kind of hurts. And there aren't any more Oreos. I feel like that story could be misconstrued. I actually did have a box of Oreos, and I actually did eat them. It wasn't anything else at all. I have a very personal relationship with cream-filled chocolate sandwich cookies. They make me they kind of make me happy. They kind of make me cry sometimes too. But I mean, I've eaten a lot of chocolate. I have a confession. I mean, like, I've been sitting here and letting the chocolate just melt in my mouth to the point where it's just a little bit chewy. No, not the whole thing's melted, but it's kind of starting to fall apart. But then if you just kind of do it, it's on. It gets kind of has this kind of like a little tiny little bit of a crunch at the very end in the middle where it's not quite as soft. And then you just kind of chew it and it gets stuck in your teeth. And then it like trickles down your throat. Pure poetry. It's almost as good as other things. No, it's better. Anyways, what's the fiasco going on around here? There's like troops deployed in Manhattan. There's like a temporary hospital set up in a leisure center, and like all of the prisoners from the penitentiary have been sent to Calgary because the prison's underwater, and like the police is in a school building because their headquarters are underwater, and like SWAT team living in a school somewhere, and the bridges are all closed off, and it takes like an hour to get across the Trans-Canada Bridge, and people are getting like arrested for not evacuating and stuff like that. I like money. Money is a good thing for me. It lets me buy Oreos. I'm just emotional. Eyeliner. Oh, and by the way, I have a mango. Just throwing that out there for you. I mean, like, I'm not literally gonna throw it, but I'm just, there may or may not be, uh, okay. I have a confession to make. I found a kimono in the tree outside. I did. And then I had a shower. And then I put on the kimono. And I felt very sexy. I'm sorry. I knew I shouldn't have done it. But it was like, it's a silken kimono, and it was sitting in the tree outside, and it was kind of blue and silky, and it kind of had like little oriental things on it, and it's kind of over there, so. And I was like, oh, I'm a wrap myself in this kimono. Why am I saying that? Anyways, I'm going on very little sleep right now. I don't think you can tell. The last 3 nights I've got like 5 hours of sleep. By my own, well, not quite by my own choice. I haven't been remembering my dreams. I've been eating chocolate. I've been watching TV constantly. But I've also been working and being a responsible citizen. And it also kind of rocks. And a note from Sean. Sean gave it to me. He's very sweet. Here. I'll read it to you. If I can find it in my work pants. You. Where did my little note go? It said, something here. No, that's not it. Okay. It said, hey Hannah, I did as much for you as I possibly could. Have fun in the morning. Don't get frustrated. And have a good day, or something like that. Love, from Sean. And Tom made fun of Amy, and he's like, oh, he left you a little note. Like, that's so cute. And I'm like, I know, right? It was really cute. Son of a gun. He's a nice guy. And then I worked with the weird girl. And she has daddy issues, by the way, too. Barney would like her. She can never stop mentioning and referring to father and business, which she run, apparently. She also is an egoist. Run, apparently, for him from the time she was 12 years old. She has quite an idea of how good she is at cooking, and she's not actually. So there's a disconnect there, and it's not good. Because she still thinks she is. I'm like, tell us. Stop putting raw chicken in the deep fryer, along with, not deep fryer. Stop putting raw chicken and pork in the microwave, and not even putting it on a plate even, over and over again, for your entire shift. Think about all the little germs that are growing in there. Not cool. And then when you put like, thing of like, taco beef in there, you think that it's not going to pick up all the little germs and they're not going to get transferred into somebody's poutine? Yummy. She's lippy too. She's like, aw, come on, not really. And then later on, we got a bill for 2 burgers. So I'm like, hey Taylor, can you get me 2 burger buns? And she's like, what, really? I thought there were 6. And I'm like, okay, you better watch out, girl. Because next time I ain't going to call it. And it's going to be on you when people get their food late. By the way, I hate some talk. Especially all sorts of weird things. I want breakfast number 1 with a pancake instead of bacon on the same plate. And I order hash browns with nacho cheese melted on top. What? Who orders the hash browns with nacho cheese melted on top? And how do I melt it on top anyways? I can't put your hash browns in the oven. Broski. And then like extra bacon with a side scrambled eggs and some toast on a plate. And I'm like, bro, just order breakfast number 1. Hash browns ain't gonna kill you, bro. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there.